Hello everyone, how are you? Yeah, as you may have noticed, I've got a new addition. It's a Fender Mustang. It's a Mustang II. So they're actually obsolete now. I think this one's about what, 10 years old or something like that. So why did I get it? Well, I mean, I've been using a guitar now. I mean, mainly for like home use and YouTube and what have you. And I've been thinking about doing like some solo gigs and stuff like that. Maybe getting out there, collaborating with you wonderful people. And I've just been thinking about, because I've been like exploring that sort of 60s style, like with sort of James Bond music and what have you, that it's probably worth just pursuing getting that sort of classic Fender sound. And I had a deposit down on like a Fender Deluxe, and but the more I was thinking about it, the more I thought, well, that's just too big, because I am predominantly playing from home, and even for like playing like small gigs, which is most likely what I'd be doing, it'd be looking around this thing, and it's not going to be as portable as something like this. And the other thing, I mean, I don't actually need an amp that's actually going to be that loud. I mean, like a Fender Deluxe, when you crank it, they are loud. Maybe further down the line, I might do, but for smaller gigs, something like this is going to be fine. So I was just just checking out in like this second-hand section of one of the guitar stores in Birmingham, one of the bigger ones. I'm not going to say which one it is. And I thought, yeah, they've got one of those in, and I thought, well, I'll plug it in, and I was actually getting some really nice tones from it. So I'm not going to do like a full rundown of it today, but all I really wanted to show in this video is that you can actually get some of those classic Fender clean tones, and you could just use an amp like this as your designated clean amp, and you wouldn't need to be lugging around great big heavy amps and all the rest of it. And you don't have to know stuff about like sort of tweaking around on computers and things and whatnot. But anyway, so I'm using this guitar, which you've probably seen before. Let's see what it sounds. So right, so at the moment, you see how quiet it is. That's the other thing. Yeah, it's on the Fender Bassman setting, which is like. Use the pick. That's fine as it is, but it's got like a model of like different reverbs, but then like the actual spring reverb is actually very good, and it's like. We're going to start playing some jazz chords, aren't we? I mean. Yeah, and so on and so on. So in the reverb's fine. It's also got quite a good tremolo on it as well. Let's see if that one. Does it work? Will you work for me? That's it. It's got the tremolo and the vibrato. So we'll play that Harris theme from the Ipcrest song. Right, let's play it right. Yeah, and it's sort of, it's responsive as well, because like if you're doing like sort of like a fast break, so it has that sort of emulation of like a sort of classic tube tremolo circuit, which is great. So it's got all those old Fender tones built in, which is brilliant. Yeah, and so on. Or we can take the tremolo off. Let's do that. And then, you know, then it's just. You see how it responds to the attack as well. So you get that sort of overdrive if you play too hard, and then it softens up with the actual dynamics of the picking. But I think that's something that's kind of lost. You know, we all seem to be about this big wall of distortion and whatever, but you know, like losing out on the actual finesse sometimes. That's why I'm starting to play with my fingers more. Yeah, and so on and so on. So that's the Fender Bassman tone. There are a couple of others which I'm kind of thinking about. So, I mean, there's like you've got eight amp models. You rotate this dial, you get another 8, and then you rotate it again, and you get another 8. So it's sort of green, red, amber, I think. Not sure that's the best way. It would have been good to actually have had the actual models where, you know, if you're on a Fender Bassman, then you get the 3 models for the Fender Bassman. You haven't got the dials all the way through all the rest of them to get the other 2. But I mean, like I say, it's 10 years old. They've had a lot of practice since then, and those modern Tone Master amps, they're actually getting very good now. So anyway. So we got this is like the preset for a Fender Deluxe. So right, so that's needs some work because it's a bit it's distorting. Roll this from the gain off. reverb back in. Yeah. So that's quite usable. It needs a bit of tweaking. I mean, actually, a lot of the presets will do. But let's see. So we tried the Bassman, and there's a twin reverb. I'll knock up the reverb again. Yeah, so I think that's quite good. Reverb back on again. But when you actually think about, looking around a big Fender Twin, it makes a lot more sense. I mean, I know you probably say, "Oh, that doesn't sound like a Fender Twin," but just for, just for like a small gig, when you're just playing, like some solo stuff or whatever, and people had a few drinks, and they're not going to be going, "Oh, that frequency's out there." They're not going to be sat there with like the spectrum analyzers and saying, "Oh, that response. Oh, there was not enough sag in that." Oh, it's not going to be. People aren't going to be doing that. So from that perspective, it makes a lot more sense. It's like to have a nice small amp like this. I mean, that's like three Fender amps, which which you've got, and it's portable. It's easy to carry. It's about the same size as the Katana, but it's a fair bit lighter as well. There are some downsides with it. It's not a great pedal platform. I mean, I tried. I mean, I want to do a follow-up video on this just to show you. But if you wanted to try running an overdrive pedal into some of these channels, it sounds bloody awful. Pardon my language, but it does. Some of the modulation stuff, that's not so bad. But it picks up a lot more sort of mains hum. And it sort of has that sort of artificial tinniness to it when you start adding other effects. There's no effects loop on it. There's no auxiliary input on it, so you can't say take one of those amp in a box pedals or something like that and use that as like your preamp and then use the amp's power amp. So that's that would be an issue. So it's kind of like, those 24 models. Those 24 models you've got, you're pretty much stuck with those. And you can kind of see, the actual need for those tone master amps. Because some of these tones are very good, but wouldn't it be great if you could get like a sort of a digital version of a Fender Twin, and it doesn't doesn't weigh like a ton, and it's not going to give you a hernia lugging it around, But I mean, really, for today, I just wanted to show you those three clean tones, just to show you how usable they are, especially if you're into that sort of 60s style of music. You get those nice clean sound, or just sort of slightly on the edge of breakup, but it'll do that. So yeah, so I hope this was some use to you. I'm going to do some follow-up stuff, you know, and perhaps do a comparison with the Katana, and then we'll talk a bit more about the limitations of both, and then we'll actually, you know, see what we can do. I mean, you can pick these up fairly cheaply. I mean, I paid just over £100 for this, plus the train fare. That's another thing to factor in as well. Is like your travel costs, you know, to actually get, you know, when you go into the shop, or shipping charges if you're buying online. But you know, they show up. They show up fairly frequency. Fairly frequently in sort of like, you know, second-hand shops. You know, places like cash converters, cash generators. You know, those sort of pawn shop type places. I'm sure there's different chains where you are. You know, I'm sure you know that. You know, if you're not in the UK, I'm sure you've got similar things. But yeah, so I think we're going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.